It takes a real man to admit when he's wrong. I'll drive. Maybe we can find him. I'm kidding. I'm an idiot. But no, really. I was wrong. Sort of. About Bark River knives. If you've watched that video about my Gunny LT, LT means lighter than. Lighter than what? I don't know. Lighter than the normal one? Maybe the steel's a little thinner. Because this has a liner, I can't tell if it's been skeletonized. But my Logger Gunny and the Ultralight Bushcrafter. Black micarta 3V blade. The only two Bark Rivers that I have. Just because I liked this handle material, I bought this knife. I really didn't expect it to be that good. It's in MagnaCut. I thought, you know, I'm going to be disappointed in this knife. I was not disappointed in the knife. I was disappointed in the sheath. That is why it is in a handmade, custom-made sheath just for that knife. It was because of my experience with that knife that I decided, you know what, maybe I need to give Bark River another try, but I'm certainly not buying anything from their site because you never know what you're going to get. I have to see lots and lots of pictures. So when I buy Bark River, I'm using eBay. If you're not a fan of eBay, sorry, but sometimes people put up 12 to 24 pictures and you can get a really good idea of whether or not your Bark River that you're going to receive has all the boxes ticked. Fit and finish, good blade grind, things are nice and straight. There's no gaps between the handle and the blade. The pins don't have a lot of burring around the hole. You know, all of that stuff. If these were the only two knives that I ever got from Bark River, I would say, wow, these Bark River knives are really good. They make a great product. They are capable of making a great product, but they are not consistent at making that great product. For whatever reason, the QT, the QC, the QE2, I don't know, quality control, that would be QC, is not consistent. So they don't have QCC or CQC. There it is. They don't have CQC, consistent quality control. The sheath issue is still a bone of contention. For the love of God, stop giving crap sheaths with really good knives. There's no reason for it. So that is why I had to fork over the extra dough to have this beauty made. And I love it. That is a proper knife and sheath setup. The sheath that came with this, one of those pancake style sheaths, piece of crap. You can carry it in all sorts of different ways, all sorts of slits on the back. Hey, if that's your thing, great. Not for me. So I had to use an old one from a different knife. It happens to be thick leather, a very good one, and it wet molded and fits perfectly. So again, perfect knife and sheath combination. Here are my two Bark Rivers. I don't know if I can do this without hurting myself. Only thing I modified on this knife was rounded the G10 on the butt a little bit and up here. Other than that, haven't touched the handle. It's perfect. For me, there is not a more comfortable handle made. Just saying, that palm swell, everything is perfect. This is just a smaller version of that. As far as the blade goes, I rounded the spine because I'm not going to be trying to light a fire with a fire steel, and I do a lot of push cuts. and just rounding those edges a little bit makes it more comfortable. So initially, I thought a secondary edge would be the way to go with this knife. I really wasn't feeling it. It was nice, but it didn't do feather sticks. It didn't do fine cutting the way I wanted. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make it as close to a zero grind as possible. I'm not going to take a lot of steel away. It's going to slowly get there. But I used my rig that you may have seen on my Scandivex video and made it a true convex grind. Right down to the edge. Now, it does a great job. I haven't had any edge chipping or anything like that. This is MagnaCut, and I found that it's been quite durable. I haven't pounded on it with a baton or anything. Lots of hardwood cutting and feather sticks and that sort of stuff, and some prying. I've had no issue with the MagnaCut. And it holds a great edge. I am quite pleased with that. The knife that kind of gave me some trouble, and I wasn't really sure I was going to keep it, was this guy. Now, I love the size. Fits great in this sheath together. Again, this is a great combination. Everything was symmetrical on it. It came to me, it was used, so whoever used it tried to sharpen and just didn't do a good job. So I brought all of this back to life. I gave it kind of a spa treatment. Then the issue was, because it's 3V, I don't have a lot of experience with 3V. So I was having a hard time finding a bevel that would stay sharp. And I would say it took me about a month of experimenting with different angles and how I was going to sharpen until I finally, I think I got it dialed in, and now it'll cut on a cutting board, hardwood and pine, no plastic or titanium. This is the knife that I used on that titanium cutting board. Totally foobarred that edge, but brought it back. Haven't had any issues with it, but it has taken a while to find just the right bevel. And now all I do is strop it to bring it back to life, which is a nice thing. And I do the same thing with this. I've only had to strop it to bring it back to hair popping. And that's just from being obsessive. It's not necessary. I don't need to strop this as often as I do, or this as often as I do. It's just an obsession thing. So on the one hand, I've really poo-pooed Bark River publicly, and I don't back down from that. But I guess if you're lucky and you know what you're looking for, you can find a diamond in the rough. And I really think I found 2 diamonds in the rough, even though the sheaths that came with them are in the landfill. They didn't even make it into, just in case you're thinking I'm full of shit, bucket O Sheaths. Used to be a bucket, now it's a tub. But bucket O Sheaths is like bucket O chicken. I mean, it just has a better ring to it, flows better. Don't anybody start thinking, oh, Tom's become a fanboy of Bark River. In no way, shape, or form has that happened. But I will admit that I'm enjoying the hell out of these 2 knives and plan on continue using them. And I don't know, maybe it will lead to more Bark Rivers down the road. I don't know. I don't know that I need another Bark River. I don't know that I need another knife.